Oh, I screwed that up. I pressed the wrong button, guys. Welcome! ESL 1 Katowice Open Qualifiers for Europe. I'm Gareth, and I have royally messed up the intro there, but it's all fine. It's all good because we have a draft ready and waiting for all of you lovely people watching, whether it be live on Twitch or on the YouTube VODs coming up. But Team Go taking on Team Singularity here in the European Qualifiers. Thank you, announcer lady. 10 seconds remaining for the second pick here in normal time. Singularity start things off with a Tiny, while Team Go have a Puck and a Tusk. But of course, as is usual, we're coming in here on the last day of the Open Qualifiers. There have been a couple of matches played already, quite a few matches played already. We basically have 2 series today that we cover on stream, 2 series off stream. The winners of those all go through to the closed qualifiers, which will be happening going on from Tuesday next week, in fact. So about 2 days from now, we'll have our closed qualifiers broadcast. We're bringing a few lovely people in to our Berlin studios to do all of that coverage as well. But yeah, we'll just have a quick think about where these teams have come from. So Go, they had a bye in their first round. Then they defeated the final tribe. You know, Era, Pablo, Hansken, the Swedish boys got taken out. Then Go went forward and defeated Team Raz, the Greek squad, with the likes of Relax and Focus, and now they're here up against Singularity, who took down the Turkish team, the Ascendant Hippomaniacs from Slovakia, who didn't really have any recognizable names. I did recognize Curtin Kele, Scyther, Rocco from the Ascendant. They played at WSG, so a solid team there that Singularity has beaten. But you've got to wonder now, this Go defeating the final tribe very early on could look for some solid play out of these lads. See what they've got up their sleeve, shall we? As we get through the draft, final stage of bans concluding with IO Earthshaker, Singularity removing the Lycan. And what next? You know, do you get rid of like a Chaos Knight or something? Get rid of the PL. Scared of that Illusion Man. Making all of those little copies of himself. Bane doesn't really offer you any illusion clear. Tiny does when he's got that tree grab going, but can be difficult to keep tabs on the PL in team fights. He's very elusive,
10 seconds
for sure. And when you add that in with the Puck's elusiveness, the Tusk with the snowball saves, Phantom Lancer could become just a little bit too much to handle. And what are we looking at now? Puck could be off lane. Very likely we'll see the Tusk in the 4 role. So the hard 5 can come out here from Team Go. You know, your Witch Doctor, your Ancient Apparition could be a decent option as well. Something to kind of cancel out that Bane's Fiend's Grip, along with, you know, Coil and Snowball. But we don't really want to be using those abilities just to cancel the Bane's ulti. Could definitely see a Rubik being played here as well. Very strong up against Tiny and Bane. That instant disable, the Spell Steal up against the Toss. The Fiend's Grip, basically anything from Bane is reasonably nice. Even later game, you know, Enfeeble against the Tiny is incredibly strong, but they'll go with the Shadow Shaman. Double lockdown and pushing power. I guess the way you're looking at it is Puck and Tusk just don't offer you any tower hitting potential, so having some kind of backup from one of your supports, always handy.
10 seconds remaining.
Ooh.
5 seconds remaining.
The one thing I miss... I changed everything. Changed my name on the stream title, changed it to EU from NA, changed the teams. I didn't change Genting to Katowice, of course not. That is the one thing. Even, you know, I changed all the overlays and everything as well. But, of course, there's one thing that slips my mind. But DPM, sharp eyes, realizes mistakes were made. So, where were we? Shadow Shaman, yeah, makes up for the kind of lack of push from the rest of your team. And then you can go for lane-dominating heroes, you know, your Ursa, your Razor, these guys that like that long shackle duration to build up on some of their skills. Can definitely do so in that safe lane with the help of Rasta. But Singularity thinking about this now. And Bane, Tiny, does leave you pretty open in your laning phase. We don't see much mid-tiny anymore, but he's definitely been played in pubs and in a few pro games, off lane and even as a 4-role support. But this game looks like he will just be shoved into that safe lane role. So Disruptor now, very good against Puck. Pretty decent against Tusk Snowball if he uses it aggressively, because you have that big signal like, hey, we're going in here with a Snowball, so you can set up for your Field and Storm combo as that Disruptor. But Bane Disruptor as a support duo is a little bit wonky. It definitely signals that you're going to be running dual lanes. They don't do particularly well together in, an aggro tri or a defensive tri lane. So this really is a, hey guys, we're going to be running dual lanes here. Team Go respond with a Luna. Very, very strong in these 3v2 or 2v2 scenarios where you have that Luna Blessing pumping up the damage of like a Shadow Shaman. He's got 74 damage to start the game off with. And then you've got Luna Blessing. It's like, here, have another 12, 24. Have another 36 damage. Shadow Shaman, just take it all. Take all the bloody damage. Singularity back with the Dragon Knight. That does give them some tower hitting power of their own, which, Tiny does bring to the table, but Bane and Disruptor definitely do not. They are both heavy lane zoning and team fight oriented supports. I guess you could argue Bane is maybe more of a solo pick-off, but he definitely creates chaos in team fights as it goes. Final heroes, we're looking for off lane for Singularity, and likely, I want to say likely the mid hero from Go, but with Puck being potentially countered by Disruptor Tiny and maybe the rotations of Bane, you could think about putting Puck in the mid lane against Dragon Knight and then having a different offlaner. Timbersaw is probably a big ban. Timbersaw is probably a big ban. Even though you have Bane Disruptor, you've got two melee core heroes that you heavily rely on to win your game. If Team Go decide to go for the Timbersaw as their last pick, it could be off lane, could be safe lane, could swap things around here and there. But definitely a fear and a threat that Singularity thinking of. But they go back to the thoughts I was having with that Shadow Shaman, and they remove the Razor. The Shadow Shaman and Tusk being so good at setting up for Static Link. You've got Shards and Shackles, and Static Link just drains all that damage away from someone like a DK.
10 seconds remaining.
So other options here for Team Go is if they want to still pick a mid-hero, have Puck off lane, Luna safe lane, they could pick themselves up something along the lines of an OD. Very good against DK, very good against Tiny. Super good with that Astral being able to either save one of your teammates or save yourself from these incoming aggressions. So I think Team Go have quite a number of options, especially being that final pick, right? Being that actual last pick gives you a couple more options to be able to counteract what your opponents are doing. As Singularity round things off with a Nature's Prophet. Very interesting. I mean, Sprout doesn't seem good this game. Snowball, Illusory Orb, Luna can make a Dragon Lance.
10 seconds remaining.
So this has to be more about the early lane or the early game laning stage where you're TPing in, playing aggressively with these other core heroes, pushing towers early on, and his mobile map presence, honestly. You've got Glimpse, you've got Tiny and DK who can both, buy Blinks or Shadow Blades, set up for these kills, and then Furion comes in, makes up the numbers, inputs that damage. But it's just converting to towers, honestly. He doesn't do well in lane, his Sprout's not very good this game. Pretty much this Nature's Prophet just has to be on buildings the entirety of the match. Death Prophet. Okay. There's a decent amount of nuke damage, lockdown. That seems a risky pick, but when you add it in with Luna, Shadow Shaman, all that pushing power, and then the save ability of a Tusk, you can definitely see the merits in the Death Prophet, especially against the DK in that mid lane. That 1v1 Mastermind is going to have a rough time potentially in that. I guess you could never say 1v1 in the mid anymore. It really is a 2v2 or a 3v3. You'll have Tusk and Bane likely there from the start. Maybe even Shadow Shaman and Disruptor will pop their heads in, arrive. And then you have Nature's Prophet. It's going to be like a 4v3 mid lane. Nature's Prophet's going to be there from level 2, just TPing in and playing aggressively as well. Mid lane, just 5v5 it, boys. Just everyone run down mid. Who even cares about the other lanes, honestly? Who do I favor in this game? I mean, just looking at, like, you look at the names, the players that you recognize and know from Tier 2, Tier 3 Dota, and Singularity has the recognizable guys. You know that they're going to perform reasonably well, but then you look at Team Go and they've defeated the final tribe, don't recognize these names, but they've potentially got the better draft here. And I have forgotten to press some buttons. There we go. I don't like the camera zoom when I'm playing myself because I use a middle mouse button to move around my camera, and I always zoom in on my hero accidentally, so I have to turn it off when I play. Already early. Bit of a contest there towards the bottom rune spots. Top lane Puck being chased down very early on. Bashruk's Disruptor just railing the Fairy Dragon. Poor little thing. Gonna have to orb all the way back home. Regen in the fountain. So it looks like top bounty secured here by Adamson and Bashruk. While they maybe can go and sneak themselves over towards that side and get the second bounty as well. But down at the bottom is where the 3v3 might just kick off. It looks like Adamson is pinging out to go and contest, because they've seen a couple of heroes down here. They have that high ground to low ground potential advantage, and the Star Observer Ward already up prior to the Radiant one. They'll see the Luna and the Shadow Shaman both moving forward here. This is dangerous. They have the bounty rune stealed by Luna, and she's so quick, she's just going to run away. I can't believe that's happened. Adamson will get the double bounty runes, but so will Luna. 5 has just pulled off the heist of the century. How have you done this? Luna, just the freaking race car, just zooms up, takes the bounty rune, and zooms off. I mean, Dire just didn't cast any skills. They were so surprised that she's moving up that quickly. Alrighty then, lanes. What we're looking at. Aggression bottom. It is a Prophet plus Bane aggressive dual lane, like we were saying during the draft. Heavily signals the dual lane setup, but here's the Luna with a defensive tri-lane, the help from the shards, trapping Solon, and the Tusk is battering away at the Bane. No more spells remain, and down he goes. Mikey trying to turn and fight the Luna, is taking a lot of damage here from the Treants, but Mikey's slowed up. This Orb of Venom doing wonders for the Tusk, and a couple more punches should be able to seal the deal, but the Brain Sap arrives, and the Tusk will get a double kill. The Prophet didn't keep on running. Maybe they get the counter kill here, but the Fairy Fire keeps the Tusk alive. Through all of this, a 2 for nothing, including the first blood, and Tusk gets away. What is this game? What is that? I mean, if these are the outplays that they were pulling off against the final tribe, then hell, they deserve to be here, and they deserve to beat Singularity, to be perfectly honest. But top lane, that is the Puck. That is the difficulty you face in this dual lane. The Disruptor and the Tiny, so very good, especially if you use that orb just once to farm, to pull aggro, to, you know, stack a camp or something, anything. As soon as that orb is down, you are in a really tough spot. So 2-1. Just about 2 minutes in. Bounty runes will start spawning as Vanokeep moves up. We'll spot the Bane, but Solon already has it in its grasp. Bounty runes 1 and 1. Top not being touched. Brown Dog should be looking to contest these against Bashruk, who has traded a fair amount of his regen. But Bashruk's going to get the double. Invis rune still placed up at top, not taken. As Solon, with the help of some Treants, moves in to try and contest this little pull across. Tusk shards them off. He's blocked both of them in this little arena, but with the Brain Sap there, it's a lot of damage in from Solon, but the Snowball will hold him in place long enough for the Luna and Shadow Shaman to get that kill, while Mikey is left here. Still a little worse for wear as 5 clears up the Wild Wing and doesn't let the Nature's Prophet steal it. So Snorpy mid 9 and 3. we were expecting this mid lane to be, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-3, but there's been so much action in these side lanes that it has been left in a 1-on-1, and Dragon Knight with this Breathe Fire, Dragon Blood is able to withstand the damage that DP brings, but also trade farm and somehow come out ahead. I mean, I guess he's got Quelling Blade Soul Ring, so that definitely helps, but Death Prophet definitely needs to step things up a little bit here and push a bit more damage towards that DK. Get some supports to rotate in as well, but the Tusk has just TP'd down towards bottom, so they're focusing a lot of their aggression down towards the bottom lane. Oh, Puck finally getting some damage into Basharuk's Disruptor. Trading back and forth between them. Because you get that little pressure play onto the Tiny, but still sitting at 3 last hits. Definitely struggling as they go in onto the Nature's Prophet now. Vanuki taking a fair chunk there from the Treants. They're looking for the Brain Sap, but with a snowball forward, Mikey, he'll be caught and stunned and now trapped in with the shards. Nature's Prophet nowhere to run, cleared up by 5. Solon will retreat with his life, collect the bounty runes, and go to a happy place.
Denied.
Snorpy catching up with the DK there. And now has a double damage rune top low. I thought the Tiny was going in, but no. Disruptor is all the way back at base. No aggression coming out there as Snorpy does feel the Breathe Fire across the river. Mastermind shoves a 1.5 wave, double range creep wave back into this tower, but with a double damage rune, shouldn't really be too much pressure. Now Mastermind can't get overzealous diving this tower. Support TPs could be coming in, but they see the Tusk with this observer board. They know exactly where he is. And they'll probably know the Shadow Shaman's coming as well. Yeah, they'll see the Rast of Anuki's been spotted. Shards not going to block the Bane in, and the Snowball, that's not going to be enough. They won't catch Solon here without the Shackles, and Mikey will back up just fast enough so the Shadow Shaman can't get in range. Just utilizing this ward so very well and outplaying Team Go. For the first time this match, it feels like. More Breathe Fire spam from Mastermind. Super obnoxious. Bottom, Vanuki, Nightmare can't even get the shackles off, but they will get the 3-man snowball forward. Solon, he's been caught way too far up. He's going to take a lot of damage here. The shackles, they're spreading their damage, but there's the shard, trapping Mikey in. Perfect chaining of abilities here by Team Go as they dive in under tier 1 with the shackles again. They'll secure the second one. Now 6-1 in this first game of the best of 3. Team Go definitely looking like the better team. And a 3-man shrine to top it all off. Beautiful stuff there. DK starts off, ulti stun in onto the DP. She pops a Spirit Siphon to keep herself alive here. The double onto the Mikey as well. It's a lot of HP being stolen away, and Death Prophet survives the gank as they get a kill. We missed the first one, but we'll keep watching mid because they're going to go in here with the Shadow Shaman arriving, but they can't. The Bane and the Prophet both proving to be a little too much threat for Team Go to go in, but the shackles onto the Bane. There is nothing here to cancel this out. There's no stuns until the DK arrives now, but the Tusk, he has him in his sights. Mastermind, he's going to get snowballed and sharded. They're waiting, but the DP's already dead. The Puck arrives. Big silence and the illusory orb, but they've not killed anyone off just yet. Solon still alive through all of this. Another shackles from Vanuki, but the glimpse back onto the Puck will put him in danger and even die. The Dragon Knight falls. Somehow in the back of the fight, he returns and Mastermind will die. But it's a 2 for 2 so far as the Shadow Shaman killed by Bane. Solon somehow alive through all of this pain, but the Tusk has trapped him in again. And the snowball forward with the help of the Puck. They need to get this kill. The silence arrives and it looks like Solon will finally die. A huge brawl in the middle lane ends up Team Go favored, but just by a little bit. Tiny amount, 8 gold difference there. 22 experience difference between the two of them, almost identical damage as the Disruptor uses Rapier. Not once, not twice, but thrice in that team fight. Bloody team fight recap, what a load of nonsense. Doesn't know what it's talking about. 3 Rapiers on a Disruptor at 7.5 minutes. Get out. Basharuk has his arcane boots. Solon not as rich, but he was in that aggressive dual lane. Feeding a little bit at the start as we'll take a look at levels now, yeah. And there's the damage as the aggressive dual lane of Prophet Bane. Both of them sitting at level 4, but you do have the upside of running these dual lanes, and that's that Tiny and Dragon Knight are kind of stepping ahead of their counterparts there as the Radiant scan in. They know that there's enemies nearby. They start with a Tiny, but he avalanches back with a 3-man catch. The Shard's going forward with the Snowball and the Eclipse, and Adamson's caught inside the Igloo. He'll try and cleave back onto them, and they do get the Brown Dog killed. It's the puck that falls first, but Tiny's dead now as well as Bastrook being chased down. The Shadow Shaman wants his blood. All he needs is another Ether Shock. He's going to get the punches in here, but they've trapped the Luna with the Dragon Knight helping out. It's Mikey and Solon who come in to save the day. Snorpy finally gets that kill on Bastrook in the back end, but Singularity losing their Tiny Disruptor. This time catching out that unkilled Luna played by 5. A very, very big kill for the Dragon Knight to grab. Ever so slight win, and you can see Disruptor that time using his Rapier twice, getting the full mileage out of that item, as he did push for that damage early on.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, Adamson. He's moving towards the Shadow Blade, so yeah, it's going to be Armlet DK, and then depending how he feels and how the game's going, you could see the Sanjanyasha, could see the Blink Dagger. There is also the BKB that he might require in this game early on, but it never feels good going like Armlet BKB. You'd much rather have one of those either stat or mobility items to precede it, but against Eclipse, against Puck, things can get spooky. They do know, though, that Puck is reasonably poor in this game. Brown Boots 1 bottle, no phase, no treads, no nulls, but more importantly, no Blink Dagger, right? Not seen this in a while. First item, Solar Crest. Definitely tanks you up a hell of a lot against DK, Tiny, Prophet in particular. After that, going back into the phase boots, but it still feels like you need a Yule Scepter this game. Static Storm, there's Avalanche, Bane's abilities that you'd love to be able to cancel out, or just cancel TPs, but we'll see which way this Death Prophet goes as this Invis Tiny, he's been found. They need the shackles, they need the range, the Shadow Shaman can't get there in time. And Adamson just walks away. They even popped the Exorcism for it. So they'll have to try and push this tier 1 now as a team. Just squad up. Maybe this has opened up the Puck to die bottom, though. They know the orb has just been used. Brown Dog silences up onto Mastermind, but with a Dragon Tail there. Oh, 13-1 charges. That could have been enough to save the Puck. So Wand, Orb, Shift, and then jaunt away towards the western side, but it was still likely that the little fairy dragon dies. The TPs are coming in. They've been seen here. And in they go. The Tusk will get the instant catch onto the Disruptor. Static Storm makes sure the Tusk falls there, but the Shackles onto Solon. Now slowed up. Adamson's Avalanche with the Fiend Script there. They take down the Luna. Dragon Knight tanky. Not being taken down here by the Serpent Walls. They need to focus onto Mikey, but it's the Spirit Siphoning Death Prophet in the middle of 3 that's causing them a lot of problems. With the Shackle back onto Adamson, the Orb forward, the Dream Coil as well, but Snorpy's about to fall. They've lost their DP, and Puck left 1v3. The Shadow Shaman will arrive, return to stun. There's the Mastermind Dragon Knight going to work, and Singularity will team wipe, team go. Oh, surviving on such low HP. Mikey and Adamson both close to death, and maybe Mikey falls as Tusk reinitiates, gets the kill. Mastermind can't really do too much about it either. Has to waddle himself away. Very fortunate Adamson did back up there. Could have been collateral damage on that Nature's Prophet kill potentially. But a huge team fight there from Singularity. You can see it, a full 5-man wipe, losing 2 supports and an offlaner, keeping both of your big core heroes alive. Absolutely huge for them, especially all that money going into the Dragon Knight, allowing the Armlet to get finished. And Tiny closes in on the Shadow Blade as well, only 13 minutes in. And you're looking at this Nature's Prophet who had a reasonably rough early game, has been split pushing, leveling up, getting involved in a couple of team fights here and there, but net worth-wise looking pretty solid as he finally overtakes the Tusk, who had been usurping his position on the net worth board. But the Tiny and the Dragon Knight definitely out-farming their counterparts as Bastrook She sees Snorpy's DP. She wants to stack again, but in comes the Nature's Prophet and the Dragon Knight. She's glimpsed back into the Static Storm, and that'll be the end here of the Death Prophet and of her stack, unfortunately. Top lane does get taken here by Team Go. Very, very strong at breaking these objectives early on. But they're trading evenly, it feels like. They've lost all of their tier 1s. They're actually a tier 1 behind. Can't believe that safe lane's still alive. Like, this Nature's Prophet is just turning around and converting one kill into a tower, into another one, split pushing away. Is that the first? That was the first Shadow Blade. I guess that's my fault for missing that kill. It's probably my fault. Definitely should have noticed that. Adamson was lurking around on top of the puck. 5 could be ready for this fight to TP to the shrine. They just need the vision from the rest of the team. They aren't moving forward, still afraid of what's lurking around in their vicinity. So they'll come back and de-ward a couple of areas first. Just as soon as one of these dire heroes shows somewhere.
I'll take that. The seeds of fortune.
Never feels good when the enemy disruptor is not that far away in net worth from your Death Prophet. 1,500 difference. You just see them, like the medallion has just been picked up with arcanes. You look at the DP and she's like, I kind of have the same items as a disruptor. This feels pretty bad. Let's go make a team fight happen, guys. Let's go slay some people. Get the pucks blink up and running. If they win this team fight, they'll have the Solar Crest. And they'll look towards Luna's next item. Probably just the Yasha into Manta. Could be the Hurricane Pike, though, depending on where they want to go. As the Dire team scan and try to wrap in around behind Team Go. Baiting out with Mikey, pushing a lone bottom. Now holding on to this mid lane. No real vision in the area, though. As they'll see the Crypt Swarm there. They know there's people around. And Shadow Shaman, he's going to walk straight on into 4 heroes. Gripped up and killed immediately. The rest of his team turn tail and run. DP TPs down towards bottom. Not going to get caught there. But will defend the tier 2 against the Prophet. Get the deny? Yes. Didn't say anything though, interestingly enough. Huh. How strange. Ah. Not finishing the solar and not going Yules either. This is a very interesting change of itemization here. They do still feel pretty reliant on the magic damage, but doubling down when you know your opponents are going to be going like one item into BKB. The armor definitely helps. The armor definitely helps. I'm just thinking of like going small items. DP feels pretty bad because you want to be going like phase drums, Yules, then like plate mail Octarine. It's pretty much the ideal build. Sometimes you can like slip a medallion in there and go like phase medallion Yules Octarine. Sometimes you can get a Soul Crest in, but having medallion and the helm, definitely let's go do stuff now. Item choice. This is very early game focused. Like within the next 3 or 4 minutes, they want to be taking down tier 2s, taking down Roshan, but just winning team fights seems to be the name of the game. As Luna can be the one that scales into bigger items, get the Manta style, the Skadi, the Butterfly even, and look towards that later game Luna prowess. It's kind of spooky though. Against a DK and a Tiny. Both of these guys scale reasonably well. As Dragonite is going straight into that BKB. Never feels good doing this, but again, if the Radiant team is doubling down on magic damage, right? Why not? Puck, Blink, Veil DP, they've got level 2 Eclipse on Luna. This BKB could easily win you a fight or 2, and then you've negated the DP's item build. The Puck's Blink Dagger is then, dead weight in the inventory. Not really offering you any big team fight swing potential. And you've got Blink and Shadow Blade Tiny. I wonder if he'll think about a BKB soon himself. Smoke time. Where do the smokers go? Oh, you want to go up here, do you? There are no Radiant heroes over there, unfortunately for you. Nice. Orchid. No drums. No nothing. Trez, Wand, Orchid. Very indicative of this Prophet saying, screw the laning stage, I just want to do things. Scanning around Roshan as well. Singularity, not quite sure what's going on. Heroes will start showing bottom now, though, from Team Goat as the smoke has dissipated. And it looks like Singularity going to trade the tier 1 bottom for a Roshan. It's a very good trade for them. It's like that guy who started off with a paperclip and traded up to like a house or some shit. That's what Singularity just did. It's like, yeah, take my shitty tier 1 tower. I will take, yeah, sure, tier 2, go ahead. Serpent Wars and Exorcism? Why? Don't mind if I do take Roshan, Team Go. That's really unfortunate. Like, they get into a situation where they feel like they need to take the tier 2 as quickly as possible, so they're just like, right, dump stuff in. They can't go high ground now, though, and they've just used 2 of their big ultis for the next, minute and a half, 2 minutes, which means this Aegis from Singularity could do a hell of a lot of work. They've got DK ulti going, they're pushing up tier 3, high ground mid breached, Tiny glimpsed as he blinks forward. No way. Did that just happen? Did that just happen? No. Are you?
Dire are scanning.
Poor Luna. Just like glimpsed and tossed all the way back.
Illusion!
Poor little thing. Look, she's just hiding here now. Like, what do I do? I need a BKB. I need a Lincolns. I need to man to dodge these glimpses, I guess. That's another big difficulty as well. Like, I guess they didn't lose tier 3, but that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That's next push, and that's, Rack's dead. You do have your glyph, I guess. But you're pushing here, and then you're TPing straight to here where Tiny just blinks onto you, gives vision for the glimpse back. Super painful. Super, super painful to watch. This is where things start slipping away from Team Go. Singularity have this game in their grasp all of a sudden. That's all it takes. One move. One move. They've got a team fight in front of them, though. Exorcism, 20 seconds away. Serpent Wards, ready. Eclipse level 2. Let's see how it goes. Clear up all of the little treants, but they can't chase the Tiny. He's got the Aegis, and he's got that Echo Saber. Easy shrines here for Singularity. Tier 2 top is still standing, but Prophet just applies that kind of natural pressure. Swing the ebb and flow of this map back into the Radiant side. I haven't really felt this puck do too much. The Tusk has done a hell of a lot. They won their bottom lane super hard. Shadow Shaman, great job. Just really haven't felt, the Luna and the puck come out of the laning stage and do too much. A good snowball forward will catch the Nature's Prophet here as Mikey, Sprout, and TP. They need to pop the Dream Call, but it doesn't catch the Bane, meaning that maybe they can turn this around. Solon throws the Fiend's Grip in, cancelled by the Lucent Beam. In comes Basharuk, though. Field is thrown, but no Static Storm as they clear up Mikey. Now the Shackles with Snorpy helping out. They're gonna bring down Solon's Bane and Basharuk's Disruptor one by one. Singularity crumble. Falling apart there as their 2 big calls were nowhere to be seen. What is happening in this game? How do you just go in one by one? Do they have ultis? They do, right? They've got Serpent Wards, they've got Exorcism. Are they going to go high ground here? No. 10 seconds. Everyone's alive. Everyone has everything and everyone's alive soon.
Dire's
Going high ground here with very limited mana on your DP, pretty spooky. Do you have arcanes? You've got arcanes on the shaman, I guess, but yeah. Mid lane's being pressured too hard. Puck with no travels can't really get back to any of these side lanes either, so Mikey just arrives again. Starts shoving in waves. Yeah, kill those treants. Freaking wild goose chase here. They're smoking into nothing. There's nothing here. I mean, they're playing around their own vision. They know there's no one here. They saw the Nature's Prophet like come back, but it's just sadness that awaits them. Nothing but sadness. Shadow Shaman is shoving out that mid lane a little bit, but top tier 2 likely to fall in the near future as Team Go set their eyes on high ground again, looking towards tier 3 down at bottom. This is a play. This is a power play. Forced the TP back from Solon already. He's setting up for the defense, and he's telling his team, lads, you better get back here. Actually, we can't push that tier 2 fast enough. They are reaching our high ground at an alarming rate, so they'll come back and defend. Team Go force the rotations. Big plays.
Got it.
And then the immediate smoke across the map. They're going to push it. That's the thing. Like, Radiant wants to push this wave to, like, here. So you're going to catch someone around here, right? Or you backstab and catch someone defending the person that's pushing the wave to here. Snorpy and Five both lurking around this area. Looks like the Dire give up on it. No one pushed this additional wave, which is pretty damn smart, honestly. And now they come back as 3. So look, this is the person that you catch behind. That's the person that you catch behind the person behind. But they've got this line of 4 heroes. So potentially Singularity would catch 1, but everyone else can trickle into the fight. That was like a really smart setup, actually, from Team Go across the top lane. And they defend their tier 2 as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Are they thinking about jumping someone? Oh, Mikey, are you going to push one wave too many? Oh, he pops his ulti. Oh, he sees the Lunar Illusion, sees the puck. Doesn't know the Tusk is there, but plays defensively anyway. Sneaky Mikey. Yeah, he's got a Shadow Blade now. TP down towards that bottom lane. Interesting that he doesn't clear that wave immediately. They try and go in with a Shadow Blade Sprout, but Luna, with that BKB, just a little too big as she is trying to move into Aghanim Scepter as her next item. Interesting. Didn't go any of the talents, but I guess at this stage, that burst damage could definitely help out. Puck, being an absolute nuisance, is forced to TP out though. Couldn't keep hiding in the trees with the orb not quite reaching over the ridge. I want to try and catch someone up at top lane. There is no one to be caught though. As Roshan, 2 minutes until the big man returns. Adamson wants to buy his BKB as his next. As Dragon Knight went back and finished a full Daedalus now. Huge splash damage potential from these 2 core heroes. You have to be super careful with your positioning.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Kill the tier 2! Kill the tower! Are they doing this through backdoor? Is that the creep wave that's coming? Oh, no, they've got a creep wave here, never mind. Hiding under the green of Tiny and the brown of Mikey. A little bit of back and forth here between these tier 3s. Push, pull back. Push, pull back. The friggin' tug of war game in my Dota 2. What is happening? Nature's Prophet getting a little bit of the better edge here as these Treants come in and do a huge amount of damage, though, to the tier 3 bottom. And of course, they do have that tier 3 mid already dispatched. Team Go, it feels like they're the ones that have to make that slightly risky move, but they're playing this so very patiently and carefully. It's honestly a pleasure to watch, but of course, the big man, 25 seconds. And that is when the big fight will begin. Tusk, just a pick and play here, it looks like. But this pick should allow them to get that Roshan. 15 seconds until he returns. And now it really is desperation time for Team Go. Do they buy back on Tusk? Do they contest this Roshan? Do they move out and push? I think the buyback has to come from Tusk, like, immediately. They need that threat. They need that Tusk to be alive, because, in fact, the push is coming. They don't have vision of this. They maybe think they're in Roshan, but in fact, they are pushing up towards this middle lane, but they've also caught one. They found a double pick off, and Shadow Shaman does not have buyback. That is a hero down, and now Tusk buys back, but it feels just a little too late. The Tiny and the DK both in on top of this. Rax, they'll pop their BKB, but Snorpy exorcism forward. I don't think they can do anything as the Avalanche and Blink Away secures the safety of the Tiny, and the rest of Singularity retreat away from a successful Rax takedown, but also exorcism has been wasted. And that's why I think the Tusk buyback should be snappier. They need to get that vision, they need to play forward. You can't just sit in your base when you don't know where your opponents are coming from, because that kind of play there where, you know, that there are two very obvious angles that your opponents can go for, but the most obvious is Roshan. That's like, oh god, they've killed Tusk near Rosh, they're gonna go straight in from that one kill. But because they have that second avenue where they can run down mid and play aggressive on the high ground, because two heroes are dead, that catch from the Nature's Prophet top is huge. Not only do they get the mid melee racks, but they might just secure Roshan themselves as well. There's no contest here. With no exorcism, they just don't feel like they can fight at all. And Team Go, this is disaster. This is disaster time. Cheese on Tiny. Aegis on that Dragon Knight as well. Do you go all in here on bottom lane? There's no real reason to defend mid. It's only a ranged Rax. You've got double catapult pushing on this bottom lane with Lunar Illusions. It feels like you kind of have to all in, but there's no Shadow Shaman with the Serpent Wards. Not really able to make the most out of this situation. Luna will still push the tier 3 and force the glyph. Top lane, Tiny and Dragon Knight, though, they're on this high ground. Serpent Wards are placed defensively to try and deal with them. And a good silence with the Crypt Swarm there. Hex now thrown in. Snorpy looking to take down the DK. That's Mastermind. Armor toggling through. The final right click as Vanarchy is cleared up there by Adamson. But the good Fiend's gripping onto the Death Prophet. Now Tusk tries to save the day, but he might just have given his own life away, and that's a die-back Tusk. The glimpse back, Snorpy's caught as well inside the Storm and Field, and with another Avalanche here, Adamson punches down the Death Prophet. A little bit of a save there from herself with the help of the Spirit Siphon, getting a counter kill, has a buyback available. They did take bottom racks there with the help of Luna, but she's arrived into an absolute slaughterfest. Two full lanes down. A Singularity move towards the bottom tier 3. A blink away from Adamson might put him closer to safety. Mikey TP's away as well. Back down towards bottom to clear out these catapults. It's a decent trade, honestly, from Team Go. The best they could have potentially asked for there. But still sets them back quite significantly. 12,000 net worth lead up in the pockets of Singularity at this point. And you nearly have a full Scythe of Vice on the Nature's Prophet as well. Where do you go from here? Luna has Ags, trying to make her way into Butterfly. But the entire Radiant team have been scouted by this one Observer Ward. They don't have a gem. I believe someone did just pick one up. The Puck. The Puck has the gem. Puck, go and deward everything, please. Brown Dog, deward everything. Thank you. We're looking at endgame now, though. That's Tiny. Blink BKBs onto the tier 3. The Walrus Punch will keep him at bay a little while, but this Avalanche Toss clears up the Tusker now. Snorpy draining some HP, but Mastermind has popped his BKB. 5 moves forward, gets Fiend's Grip up, and that's a lot of damage from the Dragon Knight, getting a triple. An Ultra! The cleave, the splash from Mastermind's Dragon Knight. Too much here for the Radiant to handle until the Eclipse arrives. The Big Agate himself from 5. Now he's killed off 2 there. The Dragon Knight and his Prophet both falling as Snorpy buys back and moves forward as well. They have not defended their racks, and Nature's Prophet has arrived to sprout up the DP. Down to half HP as Adamson clears up yet another. Stays alive with the help of the Glimmer Cape. Brown Dog's Puck unable to secure any additional kills. Forced to jaunt back. But now the Radiant have to deal with Mega Creeps. Singularity all but have this one in the bag. Dragon Knight doing so much damage in these team fights with that level 3 Elder Dragon form. Big splash damage with the Daedalus. Slamming people into the ground. Luna needs that butterfly so badly, but also like a Lincoln's as well. Tusk, oh right, okay, so Tusk and Puck both have to be on Fiend's Grip duty. They have to hold a stun for Fiend's Grip. That is objective A. Make sure our Luna is not full duration Fiend's Grip. Mission B, keep Luna the fucking raid boss alive through the fight, please. I think that's the only way they can win, is if Luna is able to survive through the fight, get a big ulti, not waste BKB, Fiend's Grip is cancelled, she doesn't get slammed by the DK. That butterfly, you know, could be game swinging, but I'm swinging back into a refresher. Okay. Well, what's DK's BKB duration like? Yeah, it's a 9-second BKB. He's not dying. He's just not dying. Full MKB. Oh, he's got full MKB as well, so that butterfly is going to do jack all. That's probably, yeah, that's why Luna's switched. She's seen that the DK just has a Monkey King bar. Why should I buy a butterfly? He's the only one I really cared about anyway. Solent. Alright, Adamson. Blink forward, catch the Luna, down to half HP, 5. Feels like he has to turn and fight, but you gotta wait out the BKB of Mastermind. The Death Prophet's the first to fall, the Tusk will follow. 2 heroes down for a minute. This is a big Eclipse with the Dream Coil in. Adamson is falling low, but they don't have that killing blow to finish anyone off, and Singularity will force the GG. Team Go tap out in game number 1. 22-32. Very, very close. With that one move where Team Go push bottom lane and Singularity take the Roshan, they take the mid-tier 3, swinging for the racks as well. Singularity had that game in their hands. We've recently taken action. Oh shit, yes. Ban the bad people. Oh god, look at that. Lots of bad men being banned by me, Gareth, the banner of bad men. Vanuki. Interesting rank, mate. Still very skilled play early on. Maybe he just doesn't care about MMR. Up again, same info. Thank you, Mr. Admin. Thank you, Mr. Admin. But look at that. Oh my god. Up until what, like 18, 17 minutes? And then it's like, whoop. And then Luna started to come back a little bit. And Luna looks spooky. Oh, they had all the split push with the Puck, the Luna. Doing a lot of that. Where we had the back and forth, like top lane push, bot lane push, all that nonsense. And then the game kind of just spiraled out of control, to be honest. But very close between the two squads. We've got game number 2 coming up in just a little while. So make sure you get yourselves a snack, a drink, get up and stretch your legs, go for a jog, but come back for game 2 in this best of 3. Short break until then.